There is nothing about that process that makes me feel confident. Yesterday when I was mountain biking with Ryan and Michelle on my visit to go see Colin at his shop at Banks Bikes, I treated myself to everything that I'm going to need cockpit-wise to finish. That is handlebars, tape, a stem that I actually ordered online that showed up really late and was gonna go on my mountain bike. Proper 5mm housing cable ends, a cantilever cable stop. Actually, I just had that here. Okay, admittedly, I bought a set of handlebars and some tape to go with it. The other stuff, I kind of had already. Like I said, this was going to be the stem that went on the Schwinn, but I don't think the stack height was quite small enough as the Cintas flat force. So this wouldn't have worked anyway. I didn't think this was ever going to show up, but it did. Here we have very well marketed, that worked on me, gravel comfort tape. Apparently it's thicker than usual, which I'm not really sure is going to work out in my favor because I pull tape far too tight anyway. We'll see what happens. At the very least, we know this. Luck of the draw had it. A set of flared bars. Again, sort of lucky that Colin actually had something in stock. Wow, look at that. I'm going to say for me, that's for weight savings. For everybody else, that's for bar cons. Flared bar, compact sizing, kind of exactly what I was looking for. I'm not yet adventurous enough to go into those like really weird shapes. This is about as far as away as I will venture from what I'm already comfortable with. I hate to say that because I feel like I come across as a more adventurous, happy to try new things kind of person, but it'll work on this bike. I know that. The trick here now is to try and fool yourself by having these in your hands over the other bar setup and just pretend like it has changed over. Just pretend like the quill stem adapter that you ordered had arrived. Hardly has the effect that I'd like it to have. Okay. But alas, I will not let the delay in my shipping times for my Profile Designs quill stem adapter to arrive stop the progress of this bike. Today, we will deal with something that literally nobody has had a problem with, and that is swapping from the single speed setup that I did put on it over to the original plan 10-speed setup that I have this entire time had the parts for. I wanted these to go on first. Turns out, kind of reverse for any project I've done. The Vane kind of bike fit part, making it look sick, is actually the last bit of the puzzle. So this 10-speed setup consists of a very tried and true Spindat setup that has been on bikes since the absolute beginning of this channel. SRAM X9 rear derailleur. You already know it has a 10-speed Apex rear shifter. And then this thing, this wide ass range Shimano cassette. Pretty sure this cassette is just on finger tight. So nice. This is the 1142 that I bought for the felt cross-country bike at last year's Canada Cup, just before my race started. CSHG 500-10. Andrew, that's my brother. This is the cassette you want. Order one. Now, if you're like a retro guy, or if you're used to older stuff and you're kind of watching this right now without having seen any of the prior updates to this, you're already going through your head thinking, this guy doesn't even know that 10-speed cassette is not going to fit on this old school like 90s wheel. But that's where you would be wrong in your assumption, because in a non-videoed portion of this build, I swapped this wheel from an old Uniglide cassette free hub body to a Hyperglide free hub body. And yeah, well that's self-explanatory. It's wider now. It will fit a 10-speed cassette. See? Hyperglide. This is only slightly okay. Totally rideable, I think. I'll find out fully tomorrow. But definitely came to a surprise when I actually took the time to look at the derailleur and realize not a Type 2 derailleur, which means it's really not, like especially not supposed to work with this 42 tooth cassette. I swapped out the B tension screw to something a little bit longer just to make up kind of the difference. It does shift, but I don't love how far down that top pulley is from the smaller cogs so that it can only like sort of get over the 42 tooth. Definitely a lot of room for improvement in the future. Though I think it does make it look a little cooler. The next time you see this bike, I will either be A, riding it, B, finally putting the flared dirt drops, shorter stem, and quill stem adapter on, or C, it'll just be in the background of a video and you'll be wondering what's going on with it. Okay, slight bummer on the fact that the X9 derailleur that I have here, not Type 2, not clutched. So something that I think I'll probably swap out with like either a Apex 1, a Rival 1, or something along those lines. Rear derailleur, so that it does give me that barrel adjuster on it. Though out of everything, my most excited and impatient change is the stem and bars. Whew. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. That'll be like the final look. Exactly what it is supposed to look like, how it's going to ride, how it's going to fit. Because right now you look at everything, you're like, man, that is pretty cool, except that. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got. I would have loved to dig deeper into this, but I came into the shed at 8:15 because for some reason, I thought it would be fun to handwrite a note in every set of stickers that I shipped today, which only ended up being 15 because that takes a long time. Fun, full disclosure for this entire channel. I think upwards of like 35 people have already ordered sticker sets through the channel since Saturday night when they went live. Russ actually warned me that something like that might happen. I didn't believe him. Turns out he was right. Thank you very much for the support. Beyond the monetary support, it's just like a validating feeling that like everything I'm doing, everything I'm working towards is headed in the right direction. I promise when this thing is done, I will do gratuitous shots of the completed, like I will clean it, outdoor kind of scenic shots. But right now, it's just not ready for that.